Now pay attention to the screen. Ignore the red lines, right? Ignore all of this. They're just decorators. Ignore the green. Pay attention to this. This is our for loop. All right, we are looping from number 1 to this, right? And then we're checking each number to see if they are odd number, and this is how you check if numbers are odd in Python. This is called a modulus, and what this does is it divides whatever you have here with whatever you have on this side, right? And it produces the remainder. The difference between this sign and division is this gives the remainder while division gives the answer. So for example, if I say print 3 divided by 2, I have to put that in a bracket, right? And if I do print 3 modulus 2, it's called a modulus. Let me not use 3, let me use 10. The first one will give me 5, the second one will give me 0, because there is no remainder when you divide with 10 divided by 2. So you see this gave me 5 and this gave me 0. If I change this to 11, it will give me 1 because there's a remainder. And if I change this to 11, let's watch our answers. This is 5.5 and this is 1. So modulus gives the remainder. Now when 2 divides any number and the remainder is 1, that number is an odd number. That's basic mathematics. When the remainder is 0, it is an even number. So this if statement is checking if the number is an odd number, because if the number modulus 2 is 1, it is an odd number, right? So we are looking from these numbers and we're checking if each number is odd, and then we are printing the odd numbers we find while running this. So that's why we have this statement. We have looped through numbers 1 to 20, and for every number you loop through, check if each number is odd, and then print every number. Remember to indent, and then when you run it, you get 1 is an odd number. Because of this formatted string, it is making a sentence out of it, and all the odd numbers between 1 to 20 have been printed. If we change this to 0, what do we get? All the even numbers. So all we have to do is to turn this to even. And because we know the looping always ends a number before what you have here, we can make this 21. So it will give us the even numbers from 1 to 20. So if we run this, we see all the even numbers from 1 to 20. I hope that makes sense. We will be using the for loop, right, to write a program that counts the length of a given string without using the built-in function. Because there's a function in Python that does this task, but we just want to use for loop to do it. All right. So let's say my name is Kingsley the Giant. Now, we've introduced a variable called counter when we have initialized it to 0. All right. And what this initializing does, it tells Python that this thing, we want it to be a number. And the reason it is important is because we want to use it to count. It can only count if it is a number. It's an integer. That's what this initializing does for us. And then we're looping through my name. This is my name. And for when you're looping through a string, it goes one letter to the next, to the next, to the next. All right, so we are looping through Kingsley, the giant, and every time we move from one word to the next word, what happens? From one letter to the next letter, we say counter should increase by 1. This can also be written as counter is equal to counter plus 1. Right? The counter should increase. So when the Python script counts k, this will turn to 1. When it counts I, it will turn to 2. This will turn to 2. Count n, it turns to 3. So at the end of the day, when it gets to the end, it will not count this bracket. When it gets to the end, we have the number of digits. The only problem we have is that Python counts spaces, so it will count the space as well. We'll fix that. So if we run this program, length of Kingsley, the giant, is 18. That's what you see here. How is it 18? K is 1, this is 2, N is 3, G is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The space is 9. This, hold on, this space here is 9. T is 10, 11, 12. This space is 13, G is 14, I is 15, A is 16, N is 17, and T is 18. If you don't want it to count the space, what you can do is this. You can say, before you count, let's put a condition. If each character, the character you loop through, is not equal to space, the only time you should count is when the character you're looping through is not equal to space. So you're saying only count, this thing should only increase if each of the character you're looping through is not equal to space. Now, this here means not equal to. So we don't want to count spaces. If we run it now, it will take away these 2 spaces and then we'll have 16. As you can see, that's how you can have a counter variable that monitors the progress of your program.